What's up, everybody? It's your boy Purple Ace coming at you with another DC Road PvP 5v5 Watchtower video. This is our season match, our week 6 season match with 1UP, and you can see a little different names on the roster right now. We had to use both of our subs for this match, which I mean, obviously every team has subs. You know, Martis, Varn. We had to go in. Pantless couldn't get on till later, and Triggs couldn't get on. So we had a Varnier sub at the controller spot, and we had Zach sub at the healer spot, Electric Healer and Gadget Troller. Actually, right when we were syncing, Pants actually got on, but with 1UP, we had been having some issues trying to sync all week, and I want to give big ups to them. Both leagues showed tremendous amount of patience and respect for each other. With as far as the lag issues. Right before this, Native Warrior had lagged 7 minutes into the match. We didn't want to take the W like that. Simply re-queued, even though tournament says any. Other than that, tourney rules are different. And there's a lot of respect and a lot of patience shown between the leagues. And I just want to give them a big shout out. Crumbs, great to try to sync with despite everyone's real life schedules and the difficulties with the internet that's been going on with the lag issues. And everyone's real good. So I just want to give them a big shout out before we get going here. And we'll just get into the match here. We took the approach of focus firing Crumbs. It had worked first in the past against 1UP. This group, with the 1UP group that you're seeing, we get a quick kill on Crumbs. That was kind of, weren't sure if it was going to work. And then we go after Stone Phantom. The hard switch here after he dies is kind of my fault. You can see I'm kind of slow switching. And I thought we had him there, but didn't quite pull it off. But with this group, what I will say makes this 1UP group a little different is they find a way to put out pretty solid damage between Crumbs and a Native. They do put out pretty solid damage. They do burst me a couple times. But what they have strong CC effects, and you'll see with Stone Phantom being being a sorcery he's very good with the dogging, and Femto is their sub troller, and he's mental trolling with the ghost, and you'll see later on. I mean, as you can see on my screen, I'm hopping around. I got lag. I'm just getting CC'd. Beyond words. It's happening to all our group, and what it is the CC effects are gonna wear down your troller and your healers just because everyone's gonna spend so much time breaking out, so much power, and it adds up over the course of the match, and you'll see. As we get on, supers do become a problem for us. We do a good job of rotating them. This was my first time running fives with Varn. I've never played with him, and he does a tremendous job. So big shouts out to Varn, another good troller for One Piece. We got a lot of them. Obviously Pants, as most people know, she is our main troller. She's the one that's on our roster. But like I said, just with issues getting on, and then when she did get on, I was literally in a chat counting down. With Crumbs already trying to sync, and then we were just with the issues we had, we just ran with it. But we stick with Crumbs for the most part. I get on a Stone Phantom. At first I got on Greenskeeper earlier and just pick up my immunities, and then I switched to Stone Phantom because he's sorcery kind of dogging me to pick up my immunities. And from here we're just kind of buying our time. I'm letting Eminence and Varn do a lot of the heavy lifting here as far as damage goes. I'm hopping in with a little bit of burst, but you can see, look at him, and it's just dog nonstop on my screen. And they're running, I think, the dazing device. I think one of their healers has it, and just the CC effects are just everywhere this game. And the power ends up, adds up, but end up doing a pretty good job handling it, I'd say. I will say big shouts out Zach stepping in our group, not missing a beat with the chemistry. That's why he is a sub on both teams, just for situations like this, and he does a good job. I think a lot of people back in the day like to hard switch him. He's gotten very good with closing his windows, and so he's not necessarily the hard switch a lot of people liked him to be. So he does a good job here. They burst me. You're going to see a lot of bursts this game. You can see my health bursting, but good job with the healers were on point with calling the supers, and we do a good job. I sit on greens. I thought the chemistry for us this match was surprisingly good. To me, your controller is your point guard, or making the analogy to basketball in the sense that everything kind of runs through your troller, I think, with what you want to do. If you have a hard hitting troller, maybe you want to focus fire healers. You have a great battery troller. You know, let's go with what you think your DPS has. And they can kind of dictate a lot of the match. I think the game's been like that for a while, or at least I've always thought that. You know, coming from mostly controlling, and Varn does a good job. He does a good job directing the supers. We help him out a little bit. I know Eminence was having some issues, so he couldn't talk on the mic as much as he normally would. But we do a good job of, you know, keeping him up to date with the supers. You know, always letting him know that's key. You know, I think I stress that in almost every video. You always want to know when you know your supers are up, and I'm letting them know, and you know we're calling out debuffs and and stuff like that. And we get a pattern down with crumbs. You'll see later on. I think we're only at the 8-minute mark or 9-minute mark. And you know, I guess another thing, people probably gonna wonder why we didn't target Femto. We thought about it, but he does use Shadow Concoction, so we got off him because we just couldn't keep targeting. But you can see they get off me here, and you can see it's M and I are just going to work now. This is where M and I flourish. For those who don't really know, Eminence, I know a lot of people, you know, just thought maybe he was just switching powers just for the season. The dude has turned into a force to be reckoned with tanking. He knows when to block break extremely well. I know, you know, both of our tanks right now at the moment, well, you know, for the most part with PvPing, we have a few, but all of them do a good job of mixing in block breakers, and I think I said that in my last video that's key. I haven't played with Decap in a while, just because of the time constraints. I really only hop on for like the turns for the season matches to PvP, but I know Decap has always been about the team, so I know he'll mix in his block breakers. Sam does a tremendous job right now. He's Earth, so he's got that, you know, that precision build, that single target. He does a great job, and Eminence is just, you know, he's done a great job. And and I'm telling you right now, I know he did it from what I heard last night. He will be fire DPSing in arenas. He already did it, so you know, once this little fix comes in, I'd watch out for him DPSing arenas a lot. And so I'm excited to see that. He does a good job here. You can see him and I are both kind of just trying to read crumbs. We kind of have a feel for when he's going to block, and so it ends up working out for us. And just I'll go over the mods I'm using. I haven't switched really for a while. I'm using I believe the defense one for the weapon. Escalating might for the white mods. Breakout protection, I believe. The feet, I don't like explosive block. I know you saw me use it. If you watched the last vid, I did use it on reps in overtime. Just, you know, for the fact, just trying to stay alive. I just didn't want to give a kill. Then I played very conservative. But I use deadly block almost all the time, especially for matches like this. And there you go. You can see we got crumbs again with good burst, and we go after Stone right off the bat. You can see I'm already on him. You know, Varn's trying to look for him. We're trying to move to him, but the CCs, I mean, you'll see Varn's running around like a little dog trying to hop around, and you know, it adds up. It puts strain on him, but they got off me, and I think we they typically play more of a conservative game, especially with their CC effects. You never know when you can get a random kill with that, but we kind of baited them into trying to force the tempo, and once they did that, they kind of switched to our style. We like to be offensive. I think, you know, almost any one-piece group you see, no matter who's in the group, tries to push the tempo at some point, whether it's going after a healer, whether it's doing this or that. And so we get them to do that. They try to go after Varn. It kind of leaves me open. And, you know, and I think I said in a match, I was like, finally I get to have some fun, just because that CC was it was killing me, you know. But this was a good group. I'm very glad that we played them. This was a good test for us, too, especially coming off the replacements. The big win against them could have easily had a letdown with having to play some subs, or you know, maybe underestimating the group. And you know, I could tell right when we were in there that wasn't gonna be a problem. Everyone was kind of on point, ready to go, and maybe having the subs helped. You know, maybe that was, you know, it was one of those things where, you know, they were ready to go. You know, Zach, I know, got in there, was ready. Varn, like I said, stepped up, did a tremendous job, and so you can see we start kind of putting that wear on crumbs, but and it just kind of adds up. You'll see the pace pick up towards the end. And I think coming up, I think we played both uncensored groups, because I think from what I know, Johnny Blaze switched it to 2 games a week. We play both uncensored groups next week, from what I know, which that's going to be pretty interesting. Both groups, they're very formidable. My old league, actually, before it was VS, some people don't play anymore, like Snap, but got a lot of love for Chaos and Captain over there, and got a lot of respect for them too, especially just because I've played with them for so long. And so that it'll be interesting to see, who's doing what roles. I know I kind of wish Chaos would go back to healer just because he's a beast healer. I think right now he's tanking for him, so I'm not sure who they'll have when we play them, but it'll definitely be a good match. It'll be some more tests. It'll be tough to get out of there to keep our record kind of unscathed, but we'll see what happens. I think the other good group to really look out for, I think for us, is SOL, but I will say SOL without Renegade is a huge drop off. For those who don't know, Renegade left, kind of formed Select Few, which they have a good group from what I know. I think I may have played them once, but they had a mix. But losing Ren hurt them. Their damage dropped, their burst dropped considerably. So we'll see what happens. I know we played SOL without them, and I think it was our season group, except we had Jester in a couple weeks ago. I think we beat them 300-0, something like that. But I'm sure you'll see an overtime game with them because we're going to run party packs. You can't. I hate to say it, but with the PvP community, you can't trust a lot of people. I will say big ups to 1UP. Neither team ran party packs. You can definitely tell if you look at our bars, and I know for a fact they didn't. Agreed on it. One of the first things we agreed on, and with them, there was never really a doubt, I think, that we were both going to do that. And that's what, just talking about like the community, I wish there was more of that. There was more of a trust. There was more of a the way that we kind of handled this whole week with our game with them was what I wish more teams would do. We both played through lag. We said, screw it, we want to put a good match out there. Let the game play. And that's good. And we got this match. It took a while. It took a lot. Took a few more days than we hoped, but we got it, and that's what counts. And so again, big shouts out to them. Big shouts out to all of One Piece. Gonna give a shout out to Soul Gear. That's my boy right there. I think I missed him in the past videos, but gonna give him a shout out. Gonna give Zach his shout out. He cried about me not giving him one, so I decided, why not. But everyone, Varn, big shouts out to Varn. I know playing with me, for those who don't know, playing with me can be a little rough at times, especially when you first play with me. But he does a great job. He handled the pressure really well. I was definitely glad I got to play with him. No homo on that one, but haven't it's good to know you have a lot of talented players in the league that maybe you just don't, especially with me with my real life schedule. I don't get to play with everyone all that often, and so it's good to know that there's a lot of depth there. And so big shouts out to all of One Piece. Shouts out to I Am Sam, Martis, everyone out there. Jester, hope he's still being able to play. I haven't seen him on this week because we've been on at different times. I think he plays later than I do. But so we'll see what happens in the upcoming with the season. It looks like it's going to speed up, so we might. I think with 2 games in a week, it should be over in a couple weeks. It shouldn't last that long. It should last like 4 more weeks, maybe another month, which I thought was perfect. I thought the season should have only been a month or 2 to begin with, but figure I'll talk about the last minute of action. We're on Stone Phantom right now. You can see in CC Trinkets, and we're trying to stay synced with them. And I'm not sure if we get him or if we switch before. I think we do get him, but we stick here and we stick it out. And it was a good little switch. We waited for our CCs to be up. I think Zach may have popped a super for us to switch, or either him or Miner did, and we ended up picking up kill on him here. And again, the CC effect, just looking at it, just disgusts me right now. But luckily, no one got mental glitch too. So we do a good job here staying on Stone Phantom. And right here, I think, is when he's going to drop. They actually almost get me here, too, but I photon through it while I'm getting photoned. And we get him, and we automatically go to Greenskeeper. I think Miner pops a super here to keep us up, to try to burst him. And now, these last 10 seconds, I'm going to rage a little bit because Zach has a super on deck, and he's supposed to pop it at 10. But he gets ghosted, I believe, or something like that. Yeah, he's ghosted and on his back, and I dropped right as time expires. So it definitely ended on a low note for me. Hopefully it's not a sign of things to come. I hope not, but it was a good match. One up, great game, and let you look at the scorecard. And hope y'all enjoyed the commentary. Subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. And we'll see y'all next week with the next season match. So y'all take it easy and y'all enjoy.